Donald Trump is losing it as Iran has issued a coordinated and final warning through its social media accounts as well as through the Ayatollah himself. Iran is saying if you continue your naval blockade, your sailors will end up at the bottom of the ocean. Here's an animated video that has been posted across the Iranian social media accounts. Then Donald Trump responded as well. I'll tell you what his response is in a moment. Hint, it involves market manipulation and using Barack Ravid of Axios as his stenographer yet again. But the Iranian embassies all posted this video right here. The Persian Gulf's bright future is America free. We share a co-destiny with our neighbors. Greedy outsiders who travel thousands of miles to spread evil here will find their place only in the depths of our waters, is what they're posting. And then earlier this morning, the Ayatollah Mojaba posted, America's paper tiger bases can't even secure themselves, let alone the regional American worshipers. And then he writes, the Persian Gulf is a blessing that transcends a mere expanse of blue waters. It is part of our identity and civilization. And what he's also referencing right there is the news this morning from CNN that at least 16 American military sites have been damaged in Iranian strikes, with most of those sites being totally destroyed and many of them being significantly harmed, requiring lots of repairs. But this is far more damage that has been sustained than Donald Trump, CENTCOM, or anyone else from this regime has disclosed. It is really bad, folks. Now, Barack Ravid, who is a reporter at Axios, and who is also Donald Trump's chief outside propagandist. He's basically Donald Trump's stenographer. And every Friday, we do Market Manipulation Friday with Barack Ravid. And then Donald Trump sends on his MAGA sycophant stooges onto state regime media. It's Friday, so it's Trump Market Manipulation Friday. So about an hour or so ago, Barack Ravid posted the following message. Iran gives the U.S. new response on draft peace deal. My report. Then he says on Monday, White House envoy Steve Witkoff sent a list of amendments that focus on inserting the nuclear issue back into the draft text, per sources with knowledge. The source said that one of the amendments included a demand that Iran commit not to try to move any of the enriched uranium. And then they said Iran has now responded to Witkoff's counterproposal. And Iran's like, what are you talking? What are you even talking about? So then Barack Ravid, whose source is probably Witkoff and Kushner, and maybe Rubio, but it's probably Kushner, and Witkoff, like as though we don't realize that. So then Barack Ravid goes to have this conversation right here with the White House. And here's what he says. He goes, we asked the White House for a response. And then the White House says, we do not detail private diplomatic conversations. Donald Trump has been clear that Iran can never possess a nuclear weapon, and negotiations continue to ensure the short and long-term national security of the United States, White House spokesperson Anna Kelly said. So they leak it, then he goes and contacts them, then they give that response, then they manipulate the market, then they send on MAGA Republican sycophants like Senator Kennedy, who's out there saying, Donald Trump, he's got gigantic orange beach balls. His balls are gigantic like orange. This is the strangest, most bizarre cult ever. So this is what's going on with the MAGA sycophants. Play this clip.
Whether you like him or not, any fair-minded person would have to conclude that President Trump has oranges the size of beach balls. He truly is tough as a pine knot, and it's clear to me that in defense of America, he will eat your liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. The whole world knows now that America will fight, and everybody's paying attention, including our enemies and especially Iran.
But then we should focus on the facts, the data, the receipts, the satellite images. Are the statements being made borne out by reality, right? I mean, this is not a political, Democrat, liberal, progressive, conservative. Let's talk about the facts, right? On Sunday, last Sunday, Donald Trump said that Iran had 3 days left before it would run out of storage capacity in its oil pipeline system, which would cause a massive explosion. And the naval blockade by the U.S. in the Persian Gulf is so effective that Iran was going to blow up on Wednesday. Now, that didn't happen. If you were watching the MeidasTouch network, we told you that wasn't going to happen. Corporate news told you that was going to happen. And then when it didn't happen, they just moved on to the next Barack Ravid Axios driven story and pushed that narrative. But let's focus on the photo of the day, as Javier Blas from Bloomberg puts it. Despite all the talk about the imminent shutdown of Iranian oil wells, the country appears to be still loading tankers at Karg Island, according to this satellite imagery right here taken by the Copernicus EU satellite. Look right here. This was in the past 24 hours. Iran is still loading oil tankers at Karg Island. One of them is a VLCC, these very large cargo ships. It's actually what the acronym stands for. No sign yet that Tehran has run out of storage, despite baseless claims from the White House. You can literally see in the image, they control the Strait of Hormuz. They have firm control, obviously, of Karg Island, which is part of their territory. And they're taking the oil and they're putting the containers onto container ships. That's what they're doing. And a lot of them are getting past the blockade, going through the territorial waters of Pakistan and hugging the coast. And then separately, you can just take the oil, some of it, and then you can put it through land routes into Pakistan. If Pakistan opens up land routes, which most people believe is what's actually happening. But Donald Trump, you've heard his Oval Office press conference. Why don't they just cry uncle? Just cry uncle. To which the Iranian embassy social media accounts are posting wishful thinking, miscalculation, hubris. The empire is choking on all three, but Iran doesn't blink. A novel concept, maybe try good faith diplomacy for a change. And they're posting clips of Donald Trump this morning like this. Here, play this clip.
Now they have to cry uncle. That's all they have to do. Just say, we give up. We give up.
And then Donald Trump on Iran holding out. Donald Trump's strategy is this. It's not a strategy at all. We'll see how long they hold out. Yeah, overnight, the White House reiterated it was sticking with the naval blockade of Iranian ports. Their economy is crashing. The blockade is incredible, Donald Trump told reporters. And we know that he just recently met with his chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Kane, and he met with the CENTCOM Admiral Brad Cooper. They said, look, if you want, we have a plan for a ground invasion. It's going to cause a lot of casualties, but I don't know, just keeping this naval blockade there indefinitely is not really a plan, is not a strategy. So while Trump is engaged in all of that, what's going on here at home with the American people? As this one account explains, and it's true, the entire U.S. economy right now is basically 7 companies sending $1 trillion fake dollars back and forth between each other, where the markets are doing okay. They're doing decent. Wealthy people who are in the markets are doing okay right now. The rich are getting way richer right now. But what are the American people facing? What are prices like at the pump? What are prices like for farmers? What are prices like for non-farm? For you, is inflation going up? The answer is it's bad out there for 99% of Americans. As Patrick Dehan, the gas buddy guy, explains, at the worst possible time, as farmers look to plant their crops, diesel prices have soared in agricultural states. It'll show up at your grocery store as well. So the prices that farmers now have to pay for diesel, they're going to pass that on to you in addition to Donald Trump's tariffs against the world. Speaking of Donald Trump's tariffs against the world, this morning he posted this moments ago. I'm pleased to announce that based on the fact that the European Union is not complying with our fully agreed to trade deal, next week I will be increasing tariffs charged to the European Union for cars and trucks coming into the United States. The tariff will be increased to 25%. It is fully understood and agreed to that if they produce cars and trucks in USA plants, there will be no tariff. Many automobile and truck plants are currently under construction, with over $100 billion being invested, a record in the history of the car and truck manufacturing. These plants, staffed with American workers, will be opening soon. There has never been anything like this ever happening in the world. It's the greatest. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, we all know this guy's a two-bit con artist who just lies about everything. We're doing the tariff thing again. We're doing the 25% tariff on Europe thing again. That's where we're going right now as the American people are suffering. I mean, you take a look at just some of this data as well. I mean, I talked about the explosive rise in prices in diesel. What about the explosive gas price jumps in the last weeks right here? The biggest states hit also. I mean, all the country's been hit, but Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Colorado, Kansas, Kentucky, Florida, Wyoming, Wisconsin, a lot of swing states, a lot of red states also being hit hard. All states are being hit as well. Also, Goldman Sachs is now forecasting only a 1.3% real income growth in 2026 due to energy price headwinds with significant underperformance among lower income households. In other words, regular folks, regular people out there, other than the billionaires, are struggling right now. Agriculture prices hitting the highest levels in 2.5 years. The ISM manufacturing price index surging to the highest level since early 2022, pointing to significant pipeline inflation there. With all of this going on, you know, you've got Trump's MAGA sycophants like Buddy Carter going on Fox and saying, you know, anything that involves higher prices right now, we know Democrats, higher prices, Democrats, higher prices. Y'all are running the government. These are the lamest group of loser snowflakes ever. Watch Buddy Carter, MAGA Republican, play this clip.
First of all, remember, President Trump promised he'd make us safer and more prosperous. He's made us safer. He's making us safer and making the world safer by assuring that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. And he's made us more prosperous through the Working Families Tax Cut Act that has put more money in people's pockets. Now, yes, we've seen some gas price fluctuation. Gas prices will go back down. Remember, high gas prices are the work of the Democrats. Remember 2022, $5 and $6 a gallon. That was the Democratic leadership that led to those high gas prices. But gas prices are going to come back down. And as we see the economy improve, I'm very confident that in the midterm elections that we're going to come back in the majority, both in the House and in the Senate.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And again, speaking about what loser snowflakes these MAGAs are, MeidasTouch network host Adam Mockler exposed them. And it's always great to have Mockler out there just boom, perfect. You saw I know I showed the clip earlier. I guess got to show it again. Hat tip to Mockler, just completely destroying Scott Jennings. And again, you see what babies these MAGA people are. You know, you have an argument with them and immediately they start like cursing and screaming. They're sociopaths. You know sociopaths. These are sociopathic, sick people. And I'm glad that Adam Mockler exposed them. Here, play this clip.
I mean, honestly, they have been at war with us for 47 years.
We all know that Scott Jennings is more than happy to defend a war with a country that starts with the letters IRA that we are currently failing, that is going to put us trillions and trillions of dollars more in debt. I was only a few years old while you were in the administration defending prior endless wars. Now this war is failing.
8 weeks is endless to you?
Okay, you said it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks.
You have the attention span of a gnat?
Homie, I debated you on TV 4 to 6 weeks ago and you said we were weeks away from it. Now you're making condescending remarks because you can't defend the fact that this war is not going your way. Wait, one more time.
Not going your way.
One political concession. Name one political concession.
Honestly, I'm not going to have this guy's
everybody,
in my face.
everybody, hang tight.
Honestly.
Okay. No, everybody, calm down. Okay, we're having a debate. You can respond to the points that he's making.
Can you name a political concession that we've got?
We had a flashback to the war the skinheads had in my studio.
I would be mad if I had to defend war too. I would be mad if I had to defend war.
Scott, you can respond.
We have a very simple goal: to keep terrorists and a terrorist regime from having a nuclear weapon that can threaten the United States, our interests in the region, our allies in Europe, anybody else in the world.
So you can't answer the question.
That is
I would get mad too.
All right, we're going to leave it there, guys. Next for us, the president suggests ABC.
And just talking about, what state regime media wants us to be, focused on, just so you can see the level of propaganda. They're still using the alleged incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner to try to build sympathy. That's how they're closing the week. Market manipulation. And can we talk about the White House Correspondents' Dinner thing right now? And then they have Mark Wayne Mullen, Donald Trump's Department of Homeland Security Secretary. Donald Trump and Melania was so courageous. Did you see how courageous they are? Play this clip.
And the president was so calm, completely composed, showed remarkable leadership. Melania was cool, as I would say, as a cucumber. Oh my goodness, she and her and President Trump was just really spending time together.
I think what's clear is that the president and first lady know that they are in great hands.
Yes.
And they feel secure.
That's right.
So that's why they can be calm, and everybody else needs to be able to do their jobs.
Right.
But
there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Pathetic, right? Pathetic. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. You may think you're subscribed, but you may not actually be subscribed. So help us get to 7 million. Let me know if you're subscribed. And become a member of the YouTube channel as well. Thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.